I got a call a few weeks back from Robert Cronick, who has a project downtown where he felt that he should invest in the things he believes in. And he bought a hotel and he is turning it into a transformational place to change people's lives, a place where they can live after they've gotten clean. They have rules. They're doing it in a manner that I would completely agree with. I think people need rules. I think they're dying for
Oh,
rules.
absolutely.
I think that we wish there was more rules. I think we don't realize that, and we say we don't like them, but they're good for us. So he's running it in a manner that I completely respect. But I think the biggest draw for me was to actually watch someone walk out that servanthood of like, I'm going to actually put my money where my mouth is, because I think a lot of us talk, but we don't do. There's not a lot of doers. I'm excited to see him do it. And they're doing it, and they're having tremendous experience of like helping people turn their lives around and then actually get into housing and actually get their lives on the road. And that's a hard thing to do. So, I mean, that is a good thing in Redding. Good things get flack. Good things have pushback. Good things have people who disagree, but they're still good things. Our mission, the Good News Rescue Mission, like, they are 60 years old this year. The work they're doing, they just put in 17 new little houses that are getting put in right now. Putting in a day center. They want to build like a coffee shop so they can have jobs. Like the things, the vision they have and what they're actually doing is actually tremendous. And that's in that arena. But so we've got the business arena blowing up. We do have more and more entrepreneurs. We have that growing, we have people taking care of that population. And in our schools, I will say, while we have things that are hard to watch, I think we have more people with big hearts trying to serve in that arena than anywhere else. I think the thing about Redding that's beautiful is how accessible it is to help once you figure it out. And you can make a difference. We're still small enough.
So obviously, I think Jonathan Anderson, right?
Yeah.
I've heard his name, never met him.
Oh my gosh.
Wanted to have him on here.
Tremendous
I mean,
person.
his name pops up all the time.
Yeah.
The Good News Rescue Mission is constantly, I'm hearing good things.
Yes.
And they're never full. They don't turn anybody away. When you see people that won't, it's because they're like, hey, look, you're not going to come here and do drugs. Like they have rules, basically what you said.
They do have rules, and they're actually working on those rules. And he just shared this at their dinner a couple nights ago. And on top of that, just so you know, like if seniors are like don't have food, like if you're a family who they feed families who don't stay there, who like let's say it's the end of your month and you're out of money, you can go eat there for free. And seniors use that. There's a lot of people that use it just for the meals.
Yes.
There's a lot of different things they do. But they recently, and yeah, I think it's okay because he shared it at their dinner. They recently looked at their rules and they said, the people that are here are on a good trajectory. It's the encampments we want to get out more to, right?
Yeah.
The people who say they don't want to come here. So they've been doing a lot more outreach, which I think is tremendous. And then from there, kind of talking through, hey, no, you can't have your drugs, but what if we created a place where you could put them, come in and get all your services, because they do dental, they do medical, they do all kinds of things there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get them and go back to your camp if that's what you so choose. What if we create a policy like that? They did, and they've actually seen that a couple people have come, stayed one night, then stayed two, and then said, throw it away. So it's trying to find a way to serve the community and get them in there.
Let me say something on that. I work in the space of digital marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, my background, I have a varied background, but it's very tech oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a philosophy involved in tech lots of times. And it's been, Google was huge on it. But to boil it down, it's called A/B testing. And this idea is that a couple of pieces of it, like Marissa Mayer says, is good ideas can come from anywhere. And rather than us running on instinct, what we would like to do is we would like to take all ideas. You can't run them all at once, but we would like to take ideas. We would like to test them. We would like to put mechanisms in place to truly test them. And then what happens is the byproduct is another thing called being data driven. So they're saying, hey, look, we're going to try everything. We have to do within constraints and control, and you really have to A/B test. And, but what's going to happen is instead of all ideas must come from this leader or whatever, the data is going to tell us which direction to go. And they turn that into several $billions. But so I tried to follow that same path in how I work with my clients. So my clients say, hey man, I got this idea. What do you think? And I'm like, well, I don't have a crystal ball.
Yeah.
So let's try it, but let's just make sure we wire it up properly so we could say,
Right.
yeah, that did do better than the normal control.
Right.
And so I would say, I'm kind of vacillate on that. You get some data from Portugal or something, but I would say, okay, let's treat this. Clearly what we have done in the past has gotten us to where we are now. And although I agree with you that I think Redding's an awesome place and there's a lot of awesome going on, overwhelmingly the conversations, people are fixated on the downside of things.
Yeah.
So marrying these two things together, let's try some new ideas and make sure that we can truly measure the outcome in hopes that if these things you don't like, hey, we do have a homeless problem, we do have a drug problem.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we tried this path and we're here.
Yeah.
So one of those definitions of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Right.
Maybe we try something else.
Which I think was what their point was at the
Yes.
mission. Was
Yeah.
like, we're not able to get more of the people in the encampment in here because we're telling them they have to get rid of their. So what if we try this? And they're trying it and it's working.
Well, I'm a big believer in the war on drugs, and drugs won. We lost the war on drugs big time. But back to this, okay, well, clearly we had a game plan. It didn't work. We're clearly losing. So now would be a good time maybe for us to try a different game plan and measure.
New approaches.
New approaches. That's what I'm kind of getting at. So I'm kind of open to anything. I think,
Yeah.
homelessness is not a poverty issue. We were all lied to. We were told that in the 80s. All those comedy to stop homelessness. It's like, no, homelessness is drugs, alcohol, and mental illness.
Yeah.